Namaste, everyone. Welcome to the first edition of Danfe Diaspora Series. This series is a part of Danfe conversations that we have been having for the past month with many local artists. But now we thought we also want to talk to Nepali artists who have been living abroad, just to discuss their art and their practices and how perhaps the pandemic has affected that. So today we have a very special artist with us who is an interdisciplinary artist, Govinda Sah Azad, who started his career as a signboard painter, currently lives in Margate in UK, and is also recognized as one of the few cyclists to have completed the distance from Mechi to Mahakali in 80 days. We are just waiting for Govinda ji to join this meeting, and we will get started.
Hello, Namaste.
Namaste. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Now I think we will just get started with where we are at and
Mhm.
about your work, about your art, and how has the pandemic been for everything. Let's start with maybe a short tour of your studio and some paintings and yeah.
Okay, let me show you. Let me turn the camera other way around.
All
I
right.
don't know how to do that. Yeah, okay.
Oh wow,
This is the
lovely.
place I work.
Yes.
I work it just paint here, but there is a storage on the
Beautiful.
garage. Couple of storage. I go back this way, where I put my painting. I don't want to take you there. Yeah, these
Okay.
are the work
Wow.
incomplete work I put. I'm very messy artist though. Very like you can see the floor. I don't care what's happening around me except painting. So these
Yes.
are the work I'm working,
Wow.
and I don't know. Is that okay to show you? Do you
Yes,
think
this is lovely. Can you tell us a little bit about the materials that you've used and maybe perhaps what materials you prefer over another?
uh, particularly I work with the oil and acrylic,
All right.
and sometimes I use a spray. Sometimes I use a lot of other materials like bead seeds. Also, I use sometimes sands, fabricols. So I use enamel paint as well. It depends on what I'm looking and what I'm doing. So my
Yeah.
work evolved from long times. The techniques, skills, and the concept, what I wanted to gain from my practice. So those are the things. Yeah. So
Wow.
so I am able to play with so many different what called different materials, but I never I never restrict or restrict myself with the one kind of materials. I use so many things. I
Wow.
make a fire on a canvas as well, so I do a lot kind of things.
Yeah.
So these are and this is my kind of, you can see the display galleries
Yeah.
or my studio where what I do. This is my sofa. Normally I sit here.
Yeah.
My mom is here as well.
Namaste.
Namaste. Okay. Okay. So this is my latest work.
Okay.
This is the oil and acrylic,
What's this
and
work called?
also I
Is this
haven't
a
given
part of a
title yet.
series? Ah, okay.
Yeah, it is a part of the series. I haven't given
Okay.
title.
Okay. Okay.
A kind of work which I do is always connected to each other. Well, we talk about that. I'll tell you how
Okay.
shortly. These
Okay.
are the
Wow.
this is the latest work, very much like remind it can sing look like a COVID virus is here
Hmm.
when you
Yeah.
normally.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is also recent work. It's about before COVID I painted,
Hmm.
but it's become like these are the work. Yes, so I work very detailed as well.
Wow. This is so beautiful and so intricate. Is this also a
And then
part of the COVID time, or was it before this? before that?
Just before that, I was trying to, from last year, early mid of 19, I start to paint with a different shape. Normally, my work is central focus, so I thought maybe I try on a circle piece. Like normally, I paint in the center.
Yes.
So the most of the paintings you will see this, the very centralized energy.
Yeah, it does. It does have that. Wow.
Yeah.
And I feel like with your paintings, from all these paintings that I've seen, and even the ones that I have been following, I see there is a calm, but it's also a calm caused by chaos, like chaos coming together to for calm. I don't know, maybe this is just my perspective, but can you tell me a little bit about what inspires you to do the work that you're doing, or just your thoughts behind creating these works?
It's very interesting, and it's very true. Couple of paintings title I got, it's called Hope and Horror. So the
Ah,
one is a calm, and there was the series I painted, 4, 5, 6 work. It's called one way is hope, another is horror. So how we our life, there is always we try to achieve the hope, but the center point is the hope. Then all around is like the horror, and we achieve the hope, going passing through those horror, how we disappoint, how we environment is, and what things are society and circumstances. So these are the work. It's actually it's existing in our life, and our achievement is very minimum, very much like you focus on a light through your the magnificent glass, and centralize your ideas. If you concentrate too much, you can create the fire, but that light is all around, but you need to focus those all light in the centralized and channelize them, that create something that's maybe fire, maybe you can say hope, or maybe something you achieve that you can cook something out of that, you can make something out of that. Yeah, that's sort of my that is very much my ideas of my work. I was I came from Nepal, and I was very similar, or many artists inspired with the Nepalese landscape. So I was very much inspired from those. Very common man, common landscape painter. I used to go cycle all around Kathmandu, going Bhumati or Kokana, or so many nice and beautiful places, Kathmandu Darbar Square or Patan or Pasupati. Everywhere I used to go by cycle and paint there, and learn from nature. And then suddenly I decided I do supposed to improve and learn and spread the message of the art exists in Nepal, because in Nepal, when I was in my village Rajviraj, my parents and neighborhood, or you can say all the villagers had no idea what art exists, what is a profit. It can be a profession, it can be life changing, you can depend on it. There wasn't anything like that, and nobody knew there is a college in Kathmandu.
yes.
And I was fallen sketching a god and goddess, making the goddess photograph from the photographs and other things, and I was very good at. So I wanted to go to the fine art college, but don't know where and how and what is it. There's no the question about it, and no answer about it. So my parents wanted to send me a science college,
Yeah.
in, and what I was scared of that. My parents were not rich, very poor, and so I had to make my own note drawing book, stealing the pages from brothers and neighbors. Sorry, sisters. just taking pages, the empty pages from
Yeah.
center or from network, and create my own sketchbook. And
Yeah.
they were all upset and angry with me because they don't have sufficient, and nobody had sufficient pages to finish their course book.
Yes.
So so what happened, everybody wanted to feel very happy that I supposed to go some other college or do something else than instead of drawing or painting. So I left Rajviras when I was like under 15-year-old, and I went to Delhi and become sign painter
Yes.
because I wanted to be in art, but no idea what is art at that time. I stayed there for 4 or 5 years, and then I come back in Nepal. Um, I also work in Maruti factory. I was very much like a slum dog, steady in a chopperpati in Gurgaon, in Haryana, where the Maruti factory is make the car, and then it's Maruti Suzuki. I mean Suzuki car factory.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then what happened? I came to study, to support my brother studying science in Kathmandu, Patan, and then I realized I met one artist. His name, I call him a guru. His name is KG Ranjit, father of Asmina Ranjit. I was his neighbor, luckily, and I saw his work, putting in the sun outside, and I said, oh, wow, that's supposed
Yeah.
to be I want to be. I thought that I wanted to be. I was very, you know, severed. I very felt empty and supposed to go and learn from him and knock his door straight away. And I was sign painter actually at that time in Kathmandu, working in a new bus park. There is a art sagar, is still there, run by Sagar Khanal. And he said, the KG Ranjit said, I called him, knocked his door, and he come down and said, what do you want? Sir, I wanted to be an artist and I wanted to paint like you. And he said, well, I don't teach anybody. If you bring some your work, I can give you some comment, maybe how to improve yourself. Can you paint? I said, yes, I can paint. So instead of going to work, I returned to home. In my, the small room, we were two brothers living in the same room in Kathmandu, in Samakusi, and I paint one painting of mountain and took that painting to him. And he said, wow, did you paint today? And yes, I said, I paint today. It was Japanese copy of mountainscape. And he said, okay, why don't you go to Fine Art College? Have you done your SLC? And because, yes, I did. I have my SLC certificate. So go to Lalit Kala campus and see my daughter is in, she is done very good, and now she got a scholarship going to Australia very soon, tomorrow, today. You should do something that way. Was very inspiring. So that
Right.
was my turning point. So come to the point that how I become a landscape painter, then I suddenly realized those painful journey of my life, and I thought I supposed to bring um, the art everywhere in the countryside, not just in the Kathmandu. So I tried to, and at that time the Maowadi was uprising just right at the time,
Yeah.
in 2000, maybe 2056 saal. And then I thought, okay, why don't I do something that create giving a message as well and learn through art as well. So I call Ekaiso Satabdi Kalara Santiku Satabdi, and I done my own self from Mechi to Mahakali. Spent
Yes.
like 3 months. I stopped everywhere. I do landscape painting. I did portrait. I did, you know, the the historical studies there, language also. There's some um, Dhimal Jati, some other Rajbansis paintings, some also Gurung and Rai in Tehran, some Musar as well. I did a couple of things those during the cycle tour. I used to go to school and give a lecture on art. And by the way, I was just studying first year of BFA in
Wow.
Lalit campus, in
Wow.
Lalit Kala campus. So that way, my whole base was Tarai base at that time and paint whole landscape. And I got sunburned because I done in Fagun, May, June. It was very hot. So my hands, all those bodies, faces, everything get cracked on the sun. So that way I learned my landscape, and then from landscape I wanted to feel the cold and went to mountain in Himalaya. So I went to Namche Bazaar, Lukla, and further on a top and paint there on the mountains, and then I feel it cold. From there, I inspired with what the cloud, because cloud evolved from every 10 minutes of the underneath of mountains. When you sit on a see the landscape in the mountainscape in a Namche Bazaar or upper mountain,
Yes.
the cloud appear from underneath of mountain, and they cover up all the Himalaya. You don't even see and believe there is any mountain
Yes.
behind the cloud. So I struck with that subject, and that's become my own subject for my MFA in here in London particularly. So my work come from like landscape, and then went to the mountainscape. From mountain to I catch up with the cloud, and then cloud is taking me all around the world. So
Mhm.
that is my simple way to tell you, but that's a long story. I did in a
Oh,
long
wow,
word.
that was no, that's lovely. I'm so happy that you shared your whole journey from the very beginning. And since we covered that, I also wanted to understand how when when you reached the UK, how did your art form change? Did you start off from where you left, or did you adapt, or did you pick up some styles that you had learned during, say, during your 80-day cycling expedition? Or I mean, I just want to understand how did the evolution of your art change through while you were practicing different forms and moving from one place to the other. So just a little bit about that too.
Actually, I was after my whole cycle tour, I started journey for doing finishing my BFA in Kathmandu. I was interested to more practice and go outside the, not depending on the curriculum of the classes. I always
Yes.
keen to go outside and learn and do something. I never stopped doing that. So doing that while I was doing finishing my BFA, I was exhibiting solo show in Mumbai in Worli called Nehru Center. And then after that, I was thinking, okay, let me do something more. So I trying to do like after this in the Maoist uprising in Nepal, let's do something else. So I was start to do the same what I done in India. I went to 2 month tour to Bangladesh, and I wanted to exhibit there. While I was studying in Bangladesh, no, on traveling in Bangladesh and holding a solo show, I had a lot of good interconnection with this university called Charukala College Fine Art. It's a Dhaka university. They have very, very beautiful, um, the fine art curriculum in their own university, in the Dhaka University. The Charukala is one of the best college in that territory, particularly if you compare to South Asia, then I would recommend to go to Charukala. There is the only problem of the political problem. The exam always extend. And they suspend the exam because of the
Mm.
politics. But they have very good, beautiful teacher environments. I was doing so there, learning with their student and holding my solo so in Silpkala Academy. This those artists, other artists come and discuss, and they said, Govinda, you're doing very big things, holding a solos in Silpkala Academy. But look at that, you have opportunity to do that, but you look your practice, look your study, you still, the doing landscape, you doing still life kind of work. You don't receive your experiment work. You need to explore yourself. Couple of very good friends told me, and I was realized, yes, what I study is BFA in Kathmandu, and our studies is very good skill based. Do what you can see. Now is the time that do what I feel. The kind of question I raise, it's kind of the form that appear in every heart and express and touch those feeling in front of you when you create the painting. Let them feel it, because this is the on form. You can't explain somebody is hungry, and you can see if somebody is hungry. You can see he's hungry, and I can see he's hungry. But how can you paint hungry? How can I paint happy? How can I paint anger? It's been long. This is the challenge for every artist, because these are the subject never change. It
Right.
remains same. And the world change, the environment change, the fear and happy and joy, they never change. Everybody wanted to achieve that. And how can I get that in painting? That was the times my painting evolved. And I returned from Bangladesh, and I was interested to do MFA and do some kind of experimental type of work, and not to paint what I paint. I used to paint like landscape and mountain, and then I subject get to the cloud. The cloud become my key subject, because I saw it start to learn a lot of form of the cloud. Like in the form, cloud is so powerful. They can make invisible as visible, like spectrum, the rainbow. The light is invisible, but because of the cloud, you can see the light has 7 color. Otherwise, you wouldn't. So what
Right.
I did, okay, this is the things I'm interested on. So I had it one. I joined the MFA in Dhaka, called the Alternative College of Development of Art in Central Dhaka. I didn't finish there. I get opportunity to study in UK, called Wimbledon College of Art with the University of the Art London. I had an unconditional offer from Wimbledon College, and I said, why don't I take it? I take it. I had luckily had a personal sponsor. Like I had the patrons who supported mm, my study, who was supporting my study in Dhaka, because I never saved money, but I never had a trouble with the money, because what I wanted to achieve in art, I always achieved while I was studying in Kathmandu. I was, what I wanted to do. I worked like 17, 18 hours in my study, practice, paintings, and exhibit. That's all I used to do.
And now that we thank you, Govinda ji. So I want to also understand that how is the art scenario in UK? Like you have seen the Nepali contemporary art scenario. Maybe you can tell us just in brief on how it is different, and how the contemporary artists in Nepal, what we need to do. Perhaps a message that you would like to give the artists as well towards the end. The Nepali contemporary artists.
I was very well. I was well off paid, and I was very good earning. I was selling when I was quite young. The Catable publication, they bought my work when I did first solo show, and they
Wow.
spent like 40,000 rupees on 1999. They paid quite a lot. Like I was selling quite a lot and very good price at that time, and I never worried about selling at that time. I was just worried what I supposed to learn, and I never repeated my ideas. When I paint, finish, move it. Don't do what have done yesterday. Do something new. Never stick, because it's not the art supposed to do same thing and thinking that you're making money. It's money is not important. The platform is not important, and the idea is you need to grow and learn all the time and extend yourself. So that was in Nepal situation. That is the main concept in Nepali art, that's not helping themselves to represent in Nepal, in the world. And the other way, when I came to here, UK, study here in Wimbledon College, I had to go through the same thing which other artists do.
Yeah.
I had the same environment here, like in Nepal. People are all competing each other, friends, all competing our degrees. So they wanted to represent themselves and get the gallery and sign up. And
Right.
I done big work. And my degree so work was 5 meter by 2 meter, and I sold that.
So
Okay.
they think, and I was very, very bold in university as well. I was done very good in here, and then straight away from college I moved to the studio because I was determined to learn and paint. I had no idea. I was say better to die as an artist rather than doing something else.
Wow, that's such a lovely note to end this conversation on. Thank you so, so much, Govinda ji, for all your insights and for educating us on so many things and letting us in your studio virtually. It was such a delight. In fact, maybe in the end, we
Thank you.
could just see one more of your work and then we would just write end on time.
Okay, I'll show you some of my
Yeah.
old work.
All
Okay.
right, all right. We have just
Uh,
2 minutes.
2 minutes. I have to. I got some work, old work.
Oh, nice. Oh, wow.
This is my swimming landscape from
Okay.
2002.
Oh, nice.
It's
Lovely.
I. It still exists. Okay. That's one of my work,
Oh, it's like a
and
great.
some
Yeah.
publication of mine here. Still some the work, and this his work is done. Is gone. One of these work is this is new work. I'm still working on that. But it's waiting to finish that, and maybe I'll take you here. This is from 2013,
Wow.
1916.
This is.
And yeah, I would like to go to the detail of the work. Maybe I take you there. Yes, you can see this one, and another one is the maybe try this one. Focus in for a few seconds, so you can see it clearly.
Yes. This is lovely. This is so so beautiful. And this is oil and acrylic, right?
It's only acrylic. I use like a water and then paint a layer, and I spend like a couple of weeks regular work.
All right. All right. All right. Thank you so much, Govinda ji. This has been so amazing. Thank you.
Bye bye
All
then.
right. Bye,
Thanks.
Govinda ji. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you. Namaste.
Thanks. Nice to meet you.
Hawaii Sahara